Hi there, welcome to today's session of Every Mark Matters, where we are seeking to get full marks on every history question. Today we are having a look at Edexcel History Paper 2, the American West. And with this particular question of the day, we are having a look at explain the importance of the Oregon Trail for westward expansion, 8 marks. Do you want to spend some time now and writing that question into your notebook, your history book, or your note page, and have plenty of space to annotate around it, as this is a new question that we've not done in a while. So we'll have a look at today's question and break it into components. So the first thing that we're going to have a look at is our command phrase. Now our command phrase of the day is explain. You could include explain the importance if you want. Now what we need to do for this question is, the exam board are really cheeky here, is because although they've written explain the importance, they've actually made a huge error, because what this question is it's actually an explain why. That's all this question is. This is just an explain why question that the exam board have got. They've made a mistake and they've judged it all up. But obviously this is an 8-mark question, so you're only going to do 2 paragraphs. You're only going to explain 2 reasons. But because it's an explain why, that means it has the same technique. That means when you do an explain why for medicine, the Normans, or the USA, it's the exact same technique as an explain why. Our focus of the question is the Oregon Trail. And again, like we normally do, just annotate the word focus with facts that you know about the Oregon Trail. What do you know about it? So, quick facts that you could consider is, well, remember 400,000 people. 400,000 people took it and moved west between 1836 and 1869. Remember, it was the main trail. You could also add it went across Indians' lands. Focus, well, it took people west, so let's think about, well, why did they go west? Why go west? Well, this is easy, isn't it? There's loads of different reasons. What have you got a reason to go west? Well, you could think about religion. And again, that might lead to you thinking about manifest destiny. That might lead you to thinking about the Mormons. Why else go west? Well, you've got economic problems, haven't you? Problems in the east. And again, you have got the 49ers. Who else have you got? You've also got the market crash. Crash of 1832, encouraging people or forcing people to live in poverty and encouraging people to go west. So, there we go. So we have got a couple of notes here that we could apply that's relevant to the Oregon Trail. The whole point of this is by doing this, it helps you formulate your answer. And then finally, the final thing I want to show you is the second order concept. Oops, I missed out the word order there. Concepts. And within this question, it is importance. So, I'm expecting you to use language such as this was important. And your so what is so important with this question. So if you allow me, what we will do is we will have a look at some success criteria. And again, I go back to the fact that this is the exact same as an explain why. It actually is a little cheeky explain why question for the American West. So let me put down my success criteria down here. Are they AO1, AO2, and for level 3 here, again, a level 3 is not a grade 3, it's the quality of your answer. And level 4, again, it's the quality of your answer. There is level 1 and level 2, but I'm not interested in those. For AO1, that's your facts and your knowledge. What you need to have, you must have, is 2 facts a paragraph. And for level 4, what you must have is you must have precise knowledge. Yeah, AO2 is explanation. And there we go for level 3. As you already will be aware, that's 2 sentences. Misspelled sentences there, haven't I? I'll just score out that little C. And that is how and why. And level 4, that's 3 sentences. Of how, why, so, what. Okay, so we have broken up the question. Now I've just remembered we're going to do 2 paragraphs. It's an 8-mark question. Again, a polite reminder, that's 10 minutes. So we have broken up the question into a command phrase focused second order concept. You need to remember it's the same as an explain why question. You need to present 2 reasons with 2 paragraphs for 10 minutes. You are specifically looking out for adding 2 facts a paragraph with ideally precise knowledge, with plenty of how, why, so, what to get full marks out of, full 8 out of 8 for this question. So, stick 10 minutes on. Stick 10 minutes on your timer. And I will see you shortly to have a look at both yours and my answers for this question. See you soon. Welcome back. So I'm hoping there you spent 10 minutes explaining the importance of the Oregon Trail for westward expansion. That's an 8-mark question where you would have written 2 facts a paragraph. With precise knowledge, you would have hopefully written how, why, and so what within your explanation. If you want to switch to a different colour or to green or whatever colour you would like to write with, or you would like to mark with, let's have a quick look at my answer. So, again, I'm conscious about my terrible handwriting, so allow me to read it out to you. And again, what I'll do is I will highlight from my first paragraph my points, evidence, explain, just so it's very clear to you. But let's have a look. One way the Oregon Trail was important for early migration west was for religious reasons. So again, I've stated my reason as my points. This was because of manifest destiny. Manifest destiny was the belief that Americans had a God-given duty to spread their culture across the entire continent of America. This led to 400,000 people taking the Oregon Trail to follow God's wishes to civilize the continent. This would be important as the country was mostly Christian, and it would speed up and incentivize Christian migration west. So again, you'll see here I've got maybe 2 sentences, not great sentences, I'll admit to you, but 2 sentences of evidence. And what I will do is I will add in my AO1. So I've stated manifest destiny and I've defined it with AO1 again. I've also included AO1, a bit of AO1 plus there with 400,000 people. And again, finally here, what I've done here is I've done my how. I've done my why. But have I done my so what? I'm not so sure. What I might add in, because I clearly haven't, is I might drop a therefore westward expansion. Rapidly increased. Thanks to the Oregon Trail. Allowing people to go west. To people to pursue their faith. It's that 10 minutes. I was speaking to a student today about timings. It's that 10 minutes, always really difficult. Another reason why the Oregon Trail was important for early migration to the west was for economic reasons. So again, there's my point, as you can see. In 1848, gold was discovered in California, ultimately leading to 200,000 people. I actually think it's 300,000 people. Again, that timer ruined me over there, but you can see my intention there with AO1. And AO1 again, about gold being discovered. Sierra Nevada mountains, that's definitely AO1 plus. And they moved there in the hope of finding gold. The discovery of gold would inspire people living in desperate poverty in the east to better their lives and lead to an improvement or an expansion of the trail. So again, what you can see is there's my how. This would be important as the sheer number of people heading west using the Oregon Trail will solidify the trail as the main route west. Now I've almost put in there's my so what, but I'm missing out my why there, aren't I? Again, it's a prime example of the fact that timings are so important and being able to self-assess yourself is so important. So let's have a look at mine here. So I'm going to go back to my success criteria. Well, have I done 2 clear facts a paragraph? Well, I would say yes. So 2 facts a paragraph. Have I got precise knowledge? In my first paragraph, not necessarily. In my second one, yes. How about 2 sentences of explanation? Well, yeah, do you know what I have? But I haven't done 3 in either. So what I'm tempted to say here is I'm a bit of a borderline student at the minute. So I might add in here that AO1 is I am level 4. And for AO2, I am level 3. And you might find yourself somewhere like this. So what I will be is I will be a border student. And I will be probably, and really, if I'm being really harsh with myself, it might be a 5. But your examiner, generally, we're told to be kind as examiners. So a kind examiner will probably give me 6 out of 8. How do I go up to getting 8 out of 8? Well, I need to make sure I've got my how, why, so what's for each paragraph. And nice and simple in this instance. How did the Oregon Trail lead to westward expansion in terms of religious context? How did the Oregon, and why would it be important? And what was special about the Oregon Trail? Why would it? And the same again for that final paragraph. Thank you very much for your time today. And we'll leave you to it. Looking forward to reading it in person. See you next time.